Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are doing super well actually in our war against the Ming. We are pushing them back. It's a bit tougher down over here, we of course expect that, that's trying to push through mountains. And over here it's not going amazingly well. That said, we do have this over here, which is actually not controlled by anyone at this point. There's a little bit of Chinese territory in Kuala Lumpur over here. That's fine. Since when do we control stuff up here? That must have happened in the peace deal and I just literally never noticed. Okay. Wonderful. And this too, actually. You know, that's actually super convenient for us, though, when we're going to fight Free India. That's going to be a mess. That's going to be a huge mess. Speaking of messes, there's this up here. We have managed to... Have we garrisoned all this? Actually, yeah, we have. We've also managed to link up this front line. That is fantastic. And we're just trying to push in a pincer over here. And then we're going to cut off all of this and come south. We've also, of course, landed down over here. We are bringing in reinforcements over to this front line, and we're going to try to push out over here. I don't expect too much here, but we just want to... This isn't exactly widening the front. We want to narrow the front here by taking as much away from Ming as possible. So that's the overall goal there. I don't think I explained that particularly well. We are probably going to go ahead and run some war propaganda here. Our war support is not the greatest right now, probably because we've been being nuked a little bit, but we'll go ahead and run some war propaganda against the Ming Empire, and people will forget all about the nukes. Wonderful. So we're going to continue pushing up through here. This should not be any real issue. Looking at the logistics in these areas, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a little bit bad over here, I think. Yeah. Certainly not the greatest over in this region. But, we're doing okay, all things considered. I do want to check in on any additional infrastructure that may need to be built. Hello. Yeah, we can build additional infrastructure up there. Very happy to do that. Excellent. And let's proceed. This is going far better than I expected, in all honesty. We are making some progress over here. Ming was not expecting this. That is clear. That is very, very clear. Some of these guys are making their way over. That's fine. This is going, honestly, super well. Let's check in on Ming's manpower here. Their manpower is not dropping tremendously. Are they on... They're on limited conscription still. Okay. So they haven't bumped up their conscription levels. How are we doing with our decryption of Ming? 255 days. Yikes! But we're working on it. Excellent. We should probably work on building a spy network. What is this guy even doing? Defending, contributing to counterintelligence? Yeah, they're all in counterintel right now. We should probably go ahead and build a spy network in China. We could build a second spy network, say, down over here, and then a third spy network somewhere over here. Okay. Hopefully, once we get that in, we will be able to decrypt them a little bit faster. Wonderful. Now, I would like to see us finish up this bulge here and unify that a little. Again, wide fronts are good for Ming and not necessarily good for us. We can fight on wide fronts, don't get me wrong, but we're better fighting on narrow fronts than Ming is. So we're going to continue this push over here, and I'm noticing, yeah, this is pretty much cleaning up that bulge and then pushing down over here, and then they're going to make the push up north, it looks like. Maybe they don't get there. That's okay. I don't mind that. As long as we get this cleaned up and get pushed up to this front line, that's the important part. But we are making some very consistent progress here. I'm incredibly happy to see that. I'm wondering what's going on over here. These guys are just not particularly interested in attacking. I mean, I don't necessarily blame them. This is a disgusting area to try to take over, to be completely fair. So that is indeed a thing. I'm wondering what is going on here with these overlaps. Actually, I think I may have identified part of the problem. Not necessarily the problem, actually. We might need to rework this area over here, though. That might become a thing. For now, of course, we have these guys pocketed, and that is a huge deal. That is a huge deal. All of these guys are going to get stack wiped, and that is wonderful. Very, very happy to see that. The war is going, honestly, extremely well. We don't really have supplies over here yet. We will soon. We want to make sure that we're working on all of this over here, and honestly, we probably want to also have a fallback point right here. That said, we have a lot of things that we are working on constructing. There's no doubt about that. We're not advancing over here, mostly because we have a complete and total lack of supplies. Actually, we no longer do. This naval base is finished up, so that is a good thing. However, that's only a single level 1 naval base. We're going to need more than that. Luckily, we will be getting more. Here comes a couple more. That puts us up to 10 total supplies. And we'll be getting even more over here quite shortly. So that should bring us up to 15, 16, somewhere in there. And with that level of supplies, we should be starting to be able to strike out. I'm wondering if these guys are on aggressive. They are not. We should get them on aggressive so that they start actually pushing out here. Wonderful. Okay, so there's that under control. We now have supplies coming in over here, and yeah, those other 2 naval bases have finished up. That puts us at 16, and we're going to be fully supplied here very, very shortly. This pocket has been cleaned up, and these guys are relocating to the front. This is a very messy front line, of course, but we already knew that. Zhengzhou has capitulated. That's really, really good for us. We're going to continue pushing in, of course. There's only so much that we can do here. We should be grabbing this. I'm going to tell these guys, come on over here. And just grab that. If it's entirely unopposed, why not? Excellent. This front is going very well for us. We've almost linked this up, actually. This is incredibly close to being linked up. And once it is, then we will definitely have to... Okay, it's linked up. We definitely need to retask people at this point. So, this army group, we're going to remove all of their orders. And we're going to tell them that their front line is now essentially this border here. Now, I think that that included up here. I think. This is a big mess right now. But we want this border to be this front line. So this army group will do that, and their offensive line is essentially just push up to the coast here. There we go. That's a kind of awkward offensive line, but we'll tell them to go. Okay. This group here, their offensive line needs to change. So we're going to remove all of their orders. And then there's still this over here. Army Group 2 is assigned to that. We'll remove their orders as well. And then there's this here. Which, this is... Who is this? Army 8. I don't know who Army 8 is, but they should not have this order. Who is Army 8? One of these? Yes, these guys here. We'll remove their orders. Okay. So, these guys. We want these guys to now be manning the border that is essentially right here. This border is now theirs. Now, we may lose some ground over here as we're shifting troops around. I'm cognizant of this. I'm noticing that this goes up to here. That's actually kind of perfect. So their offensive line is going to be to push essentially to this river for right now. And they can go ahead and execute that. Okay. And then these guys, they are located where? Okay, that's these guys over here. That's fine. And we will go ahead and remove any of their orders that exist. And they want to have a front line being this border right here, all the way down. Yes, that is perfect. I don't know who's assigned to this. Army 7. That's these guys. Okay. We'll go ahead and delete that. And we'll assign them in with this army group for now. And we'll go ahead and assign them to this border. Although I'm noticing, actually this border ends right here. Okay, so we probably want to have these guys assigned down here then, as they were. And we'll just tell them that their offensive line is to just like push down here or something. Okay, so they can do something like that. And then the offensive line over here, this one is pretty much just push like that and unify with these guys. Excellent. And then this army group, they have orders, right? Maybe. Yeah, this is their orders. I'm quite certain of... actually, I'm not sure of that. Where are these guys going? I guess we'll find out. So, of course, we are reorganizing this. I'm not seeing a go button up here, so I'm wondering if these guys have an offensive line. This indicates that they have no orders, right? Yes, that's what that indicates. Absolutely. Okay, so this army group is absolutely going to come down over here and help out with this. So we're going to have them frontline over here. And they are also going to offensive line, you know, somewhere maybe a little deeper, something kind of like this. And they can go ahead and execute that. Okay, so it will definitely take some time for our troops to move around. There's no doubt about that. And we may lose a little bit of ground in the process. Hopefully we don't lose this link up over here. That would be the hope. We want to make sure that all of these are aggressively attacking, and it looks like they are. So that's good. Shia has capitulated. That was these guys over here. Oh my. That has an effect on the landscape. I didn't expect that to happen currently. Okay, we'll take it. We'll happily take it. But Ming's northern allies are currently collapsing. Ming is themselves holding fairly strong. But their northern allies are absolutely collapsing. We need to get some infrastructure created in places where we can. We may lose some of those locations. That's okay. We do have free military factories. We must have captured some. Yeah, okay. What do we need most of? Jet strategic bombers is what we need. Okay, we can do that. We can absolutely do that. So we'll go to production and we will produce jet strategic bombers. That's jet strategic bomber 1. Is there a jet strategic bomber 2? This is a regular strategic bomber 2. Jet tactical bomber 2. Jet fighters. Hang on, let's check in here. Yeah, this is Jet Strategic Bomber 1. I think there isn't one. Let's check into this. Yeah, there's only the Jet Strategic Bomber 1. Fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that then. And we can go ahead and do something like that. So yeah, we're going to be lacking rubber, obviously. But that's okay. Is there any prospecting that we can do? No, not currently. That's fine. Okay, so now we're hoping that we manage to get this rearrangement of our forces done without substantial land loss, particularly in this little bridge area. This is where it really matters. And of course, against Ming proper, we're probably going to have to do some like air support and things like that, but that's okay. That is completely fine. We will handle that a little bit later on. So you can see we're basically completely abandoning this area, and we're not actually. We may lose some territory there, but we have some troops on the way here and there. We've now grabbed this area. We'll see if we actually manage to populate it. But so far, this is going tremendously well. I want to look at the war actually here. Oh, wow. Look at this. We've lost 3.66 million. Of those, 2.81 million were ours. However, Ming has lost 13.33 million. That is insane. And of those, we've killed 12.8. That is bonkers. I mean, they're not standing up to us. That is definitely for sure. This is not succeeding for them. We may be able to cut off a big chunk of them here, too. These guys are not really taking advantage of the fact that we've abandoned this area, which I'm okay with. We won't have abandoned it for too much longer. We should definitely build infrastructure over here. 1,000,000%. Excellent. Yeah, this is going, honestly, tremendously well. Like, fantastically well. Absurdly well. I expected the fight against Ming to be much more challenging. Honestly, I expected Ming to put up more of a fight than Brazil did. But, I mean, this is what you get, I suppose, when you actually, to some degree, understand the mechanics of the game in question. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this game. I'm absolutely not. But I do now have some understanding of how this works. So that helps. So, of course, we are spreading out our troops a little bit here. We have a pretty big concentration up here. We're going to be moving around for a little while longer, but it looks to me like we're okay at this point. Looks to me like Ming isn't taking advantage of our redeployment, which they absolutely should have. If it was me, I would have been like, go. That would have been the go button. Hello. And they're caught. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We may want to consider running more war propaganda. It's fairly expensive, of course. I'm not interested in collaboration governments right now. I'm much more interested, honestly, in additional raw resources. But it looks like we've got pretty much what we're going to on that front. And of course, our troops are still arriving down over here, so as well as up here, we haven't managed to get troops to the front yet. But we have over here now, and we're just continuing to push in Ming. This is getting worse and worse for them. Honestly, I don't think it'll be over this episode, but honestly, it might be over next episode. Ming is collapsing currently. They're down to 55 million manpower. They're still on limited conscription, so fair enough. But I don't think we're going to have to bump up our conscription. I really, really don't. And, I mean, we need rubber to make more jet strategic bombers. This is definitely for sure. I think I'm going to go ahead and bump up our priority on these jet strategic bombers just above, like, one thing that uses rubber. Those planes aren't actually getting any rubber. Free India is probably hoarding all the rubber, aren't they? I bet they are. We're going to plop that right there. So that way we're making some jet strategic bombers. Fantastic. Not very many, but we're making some. Speaking of Free India hoarding all the rubber, hey, Free India. They're not. Malaya is still hoarding all the rubber. We should be justifying on them, for sure. And we absolutely can. I want their rubber. Excellent. And you can see our hold over here is now solidifying. I'm interested in seeing what the fill-in on this order is. If I can get hovered over it. There we go. That looks good so far. Okay, yeah, that looks fine. Fantastic. And yeah, this is just going tremendously well. We're fighting them on quite a few different fronts here, and they're just collapsing. We've got them pocketed over here. Let's check in on our supplies. Our supplies actually look great. Absolutely phenomenal. Considering the situation. Let's go ahead and build some infrastructure over here. Fantastic. And yeah, of course, we're still going to need to conquer China, which we're having a hard time pushing into. But I think we still have some troops arriving over here. Yeah, I think we're going to succeed in pushing in over in China. I don't think that's really a concern. Malaya, we definitely want to attack, and I want to take it for ourselves. Like, I'm not even going to call Free India into that one. Because I want that rubber. That rubber will be very useful. What's going on over here? Oh, Majapahit actually landed right outside of Ming's capital. Now that's awkward. This is Ming's capital. This is China's capital. But even so, I don't think they'll hold this. I really, really don't. I think China will defend that successfully. However, look at this. The north is just collapsing. Absolutely. We have a free dockyard. Awkward. We'll make more submarines. Why would we need anything else? I mean, we don't have the steel or the chromium to make it, but we'll still go for it. Excellent. I don't actually want to look at that necessarily. I do want to look to see how we're doing over here. Things look fantastic. We're maybe going to be running a little bit low on medium tanks sometime soon, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. So that's okay. In the meantime, of course, we are continuing to push up over here. Is Camp Shadal's in this? Yes. Yes, they are. Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and select these guys. I'm going to delete this offensive line. And I'm going to create them a new offensive line. And that offensive line will be something along the lines of this. I just want to include pushing all the way down this peninsula. It didn't go. Okay. Fair enough. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Can we just stop? Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and put in this offensive line again. I want to include everything down here. It didn't go again. Okay, fair enough. We'll just put it up here then. 0 divisions will be assigned. Awkward. Okay. Very awkward indeed. We'll go ahead and give them the stop here. Stop order. And I guess we'll just put it in over here. That's very strange. Wait, do I have the wrong group selected? What's happening here? I might have the wrong group selected. I do. I'm a moron. We already knew that, of course. I'm glad it didn't go now. I want the front line to be, or rather the offensive line, to be something along the lines of this. Don't grab this one, please. No, seriously. We have to? Sad. There. That's the offensive line that I wanted. Ish. It doesn't grab that, but close enough. Okay. So we're going to grab this little pocket that we have, and that is fine. Can't believe I had the wrong army group selected. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. These guys down here, they really could use a new offensive line, couldn't they? Although I think since they're on aggressive, they're just going to continue to attack, just in general. And that's kind of what I want them to do. I'd love to link up this line. Honestly, Ming is just... This is not going well for Ming. This is going incredibly poorly for them. Any more that we can construct for infrastructure? That's a negative. Okay, well, it is time to put a cut in here, and next episode, we're just going to continue crushing the Ming Empire. Like, I don't think that there's going to be much that they can do at this point. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.